Good afternoon. It is December 29th, 2025. You're listening to a little of column A, little of column B, hosted by Will Alimonos and co-hosted by Zach Bishop. How are you doing today, buddy?
What is going on, Will? AFC East champs. We did it. Maybe one more week than we would have liked, but next week we could still have a shot at the 1 seed. It's not looking very good because of what Denver's going to do, but we did it. We took it back from the Bills, and I know we had a super easy schedule, and we're going up against the Jets, who are quite possibly one of the worst football teams of all time. But you know what's fun? It's fun Sunday, your day ending, and you go to sleep a winner. And it was a hat and t-shirt game. Had a picture of the whole team when they got back from New York, all decked out, and we're going to the playoffs. We're going back to the playoffs, and it's all smooth sailing.
Is it smooth sailing? Because now we have expectations, of which now we have to talk about that.
Yeah, well, that's that. I want that. I want the nerves. I want the playoffs.
Well, you got it.
I want the expectations.
You got it, buddy. They're coming. The real games are here. We've got potential playoff seeding. There's a scenario where we get a bye. There's a lot of options here, of which I see a very high ceiling, of which I didn't see any other week. I just feel like after this past week, which again, we beat the Jets. It shouldn't be a defining week. It was more of what I saw out of everyone else this past week. Was it not like that? Do you not feel better? Like, I know we whooped the Jets, but there's just some games by some guys, and we're going to talk about it. It didn't go well. And I don't know if those would have happened to us, you could say.
It was a mix. It was not that we just beat the Jets. It's just that we came out immediately, just stomped them. We didn't even have to play Drake, the whole second half, as well as, like you said, it's what happened everywhere else. We just easily took care of business, exactly how we were supposed to. And there were a whole bunch of teams with opportunities that did not take care of business. And now we're going to week 18, their last game of the year, and they need to make something happen immediately, where if they could just have taken care of business this week, it would have been much smoother. I liked how it happened, because now there are games that matter where a couple of decisions go the opposite, and we would have had a really boring week 18. But now there's playoff spots, there's seeding on the line. It's going to be a fun ride.
I make fun of these other teams, but from an honest perspective, it was the most fun football you could have had, and this could arguably be the best final week of the NFL season we've ever had also. There's a lot of movement, potential, a win-or-go-home situations. How fun is that? That this is like it's a round one, like a pre-round. This is the playoffs. Somebody's going to win, and somebody's going to be in, and somebody's going to be out. That's awesome. There's so many weeks where nothing matters this last week, and we know everything already, and we're talking so far ahead, and then we haven't even seen the week, and This is a potential to be one of the best last weeks ever, is it not?
I'm going to have to compare it, but we have the 1 seed is still up in the air, and yeah, exactly like you said, there is whoever wins this game is in. Actually, we have two. We have two of those.
They're rivals, division ones. Like that's exciting, very exciting. We did some picks last week. How did we do?
Mediocre.
Well, you can't win them all. There were some good ones, there were some bad ones, but hopefully we have some exciting ones this week, as the last week was just awesome madness. Just so much madness. Well, we got to begin the picks this week with less madness, and of which do you trust more? The Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who you got in that? Because this is just shaky business here, man. How do you have any comfort in anything?
I don't. I've held on for Baker Mayfield and this Bucs team, and time after time, they have said, Zach, don't trust us. Please, don't trust us. We are going to find more confusing and more creative ways to lose this. And I just like Baker Mayfield. I like the beginning of the year. But if you go back and look, he had 4 clutch drives that got those wins and put them in the right spot. And there was MVP discussion. And since then, it's been awful. It's been terrible. How do you lose to the Dolphins?
Well,
the Dolphins don't even want to be there. at least they, it wasn't cold for them because it's down in Florida, but they don't want to be there. But I then I look across the way, and it's just that the Bucs have had so many opportunities. They've had so many opportunities to just win the NFC South and go to the playoffs, and now they still couldn't get it done against the Dolphins. So somehow they can go 8-9, tie with the Panthers. If I'm not mistaken, I think if the Falcons win tonight and tomorrow, they've been eliminated from the playoffs forever. But they could also be in the mix. It's unlikely, but could be like a 3-way tie. It's just weird. I don't like it, but I'm gonna go with the Bucs. I could see this going just any direction. Like Bryce could come out, have a good game, and it could be the Bucs just absolutely roll over at home and said, "Hey, we've been telling you this for months now. We wanted to play no extra football. Get us out of here." But I got to pick somebody. I'm gonna go with the Bucs. But man, they've just been kicking in my teeth the whole second half of the year.
Jumping off ship, pun intended. I'm doing Carolina. I got them in the first half, plus 119 on the money line. Just first half, they're gonna win. I do have the under in this game. I think it's gonna be ugly. The disappointing part with Tampa Bay is they've won games that we didn't expect them to win, and then they've lost everything else that they should have won. So it's like the second expectations are on them. I can't tell you what goes wrong. I don't want to pick on Baker. I still am a fan. I still think they should keep him. Bryce, honestly, a little bit shakier. I can't trust him either. But I mean, how many blown opportunities is Tampa Bay going to have at this point? Like I don't think they have it. More seeing the motivation in Carolina purely as my reason for picking this, but I could be wrong. Do you think both these quarterbacks will be on the same team next year?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think that Bryce is still young. He played better this year. I don't think they have an opportunity. They're right at 500, so they're not going to have a top pick. So I don't think they're going to be looking to get one of the top quarterbacks coming in. And similarly for the Bucs, I think that Baker Mayfield the past couple of years has shown there's at least enough there, and I think they'll try to build around it. Mike Evans was hurt for a majority of this year, so you get him back. He's a bona fide number one, even though if he's getting a little bit older. So I think both of them will be back.
It's still the same division. It's still the same mess. It'll be just as sloppy next week or next year.
Well, next year you're gonna have to deal with Shuck, and he's not gonna be a rookie anymore.
It's true. I think there's real offensive rookie of the year votes heading that way. Like I think this week is going to matter for him now. Who would have thought that a meaningless matterful game? Like how can this matter? It doesn't. You giving him a vote?
Because Genty has played all right. He's on the Raiders, so they weren't very good. He's the one that immediately jumps out at me. Ibuka, still in this realm. He's kind of fallen off. So, as a quarterback, you get a lot of the attention. I could see it being in the mix.
I could be talked into it. I think there's better. I mean, if you look at numbers, somebody's going to have numbers, but there are some good Chuck games out at this point too. So I don't know. They're rookies. We'll see where they go. That's one where we definitely didn't have those expectations. So good for him for really surpassing it, and maybe that's more what I'm rewarding. All right, next game, Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know how else to describe Seattle other than unflattering football. You got anything better than that?
I wonder. I wonder once they get into the playoffs if they're going to be able to rise to the occasion. And it's just we've talked about this before, but it's just there's something there that you don't quite trust, and I think it's the Darnold factor of regular season, all cool, but now all of a sudden those lights are bright and just jumping to that next level. I don't trust it once we get to the playoffs.
I think if you really game plan for them, at least that offense, even with Jackson Smith and Jigba being very good, I think you can control the run game on them, which I've seen teams do. I think San Francisco might even do that, despite their lack of defense against Chicago this past week. And boy, do we need to talk about that. But the Seattle team, maybe the Patriots are falling victim to this as well. Are they just beating bad teams? Or Seattle, I mean, they do have some good wins too, but they don't feel like a real threat despite having the record they have and possibly finishing where they're going to finish as well. So we're not buying that.
But that's what you have to do. Yeah, you have to beat the teams in front of you, and it's a long regular season, and they deserve some praise for having a successful season. For Darnold, kind of getting just tossed away by the Vikings and then picking them up and saying, hey, this is the direction we're going to go in.
I'm curious to see if they'll be able to have a longer time of possession than the Chicago Bears had against the Niners. That was a wild game. Huge McCaffrey game. Huge Purdy game. Wild ending. Points on points. The Bears, I don't know how they kept up with them. I kept messaging you being like, are they scoring too fast? Because the Niners have had the ball for like 40 minutes and you are somehow just down like a touchdown in this game. It was just a really dominant game of time of possession for the San Francisco 49ers. I imagine they'll do the same thing here in this game. What were you most impressed with?
Just how relentless both the San Francisco and the Bears were, where you even brought up, and this was not down the stretch where you really are thinking about this of, are they scoring too fast? Just who has that luxury to say, hey, maybe we're scoring too fast? But it was just haymakers, just touchdowns back to back. There was no field goals until much later. There was not a lot of punting going on. It was an incredibly fun game to watch to close out the Sunday.
Did the right team win?
I think so. I think Caleb had an opportunity and wasn't able to finally capitalize. I mean, we saw it from Josh Allen earlier in the day of you got right to the line. All you needed to do was just that final little push and wasn't able to get the job done.
I think, am I mistaken on the broadcast where they were like 4 seconds left and they're like, I think they can get 2 plays off. I was like, do you know who's quarterbacking this team? You think this guy is going to get rid of the ball in 4 seconds for 2 plays? Like, what did you just watch? So I knew that last play was going to be it.
That's it.
Right? Like I knew that. Did clearly. You know that? Like,
oh, for sure.
So once that happened, I actually thought he ultimately got what he was going to get, and he was pretty close. I think he targeted the right guy. It's a really hard pass. Versus the Josh Allen one, I think that's a little bit more of a miss. Like that's not a missed open shot, but that's a miss for him. Like I think he hits that more often than not. And I'm not
agreed.
I'm not going to get on him. The Caleb one, I think, is just a hard one. I just think that's a really challenging one. I don't think there's a lot of guys that would have got that right in that situation with that play call.
He was scrambling. He was scrambling, and I don't think anybody was immediately wide open. Where the Josh Allen one was, you could see. He missed it. He just didn't hit the guy. The guy was open.
So it's a good Caleb Williams game and it's a good Purdy game. Which one's more encouraging? Because the Bears lost. Like, you guys gonna mess with them at all?
I think it's more encouraging for Caleb. Just I think we've seen the success from Purdy. The bigger concern on the 49ers side was it seems like it's been nice for them that Christian McCaffrey has been healthy all year, which is not a guarantee. But, man, there was a lot of stuff going on the sideline where they were working on him. And I'm just wondering, is he getting towards the end of the rope? And in September, you're good. And, you didn't actually miss time, but just keep getting the hits over and over again. Is that going to be something that's going to be a concern? But at the same time, Kittle was out and they were still able to get the win. They had the backup come in, scored a touchdown. So I think once they get Kittle back, that might kind of alleviate some of the pressure or at least some of the workload they have to put on McCaffrey.
Are you aware of the potential situation where they might not ever have to leave San Francisco?
Yes. Yep. So the Super Bowl is in San Francisco. So they can win 4 home games. They have to win this week because they have one of the largest, I'm going to call it movements, where I think right now they would be the 6th seed, but if they win, they could get the 1 seed. So one game for a lot of marbles here.
How crazy would that be? And then in this scenario, this is the McCaffrey send-off at this point. Like just 3 home games in a row of McCaffrey dominating. Who knows? We'll see. I don't want it to happen, but it's cool that it's a scenario that could happen. Should we not have scenarios like this? Or is this unfair?
Unfair how?
Well, they're having home games, essentially. Or maybe it's still not a home game. Is the Super Bowl price just so outrageous that the location just doesn't matter?
Well, we saw this not that long ago. Brady and Tampa Bay, they did it. It was always the talk of it's never happened. Well, now it's happened, and I don't think you should be penalized for winning the games and winning the games while your team hosts the Super Bowl. I think Purdy was hurt for a good chunk of this year. They had Mac Jones out there for what 7 games and still was able to find a way to win. I think that's pretty impressive.
I'm impressed. I was impressed last night. I think I'll be impressed again this week. They will probably dominate the Seahawks here, who are just unflattering football. Like, it's fine. Like, they're Pittsburgh, and that's like fine. They got a couple more wins, but I think they're still just like a Pittsburgh team. I got the Niners. You got the Niners as well?
Yes, I'll be going with the Niners.
All right, next one. New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. What do they got? 6 wins and counting? Let's get a 7th, right? Let's go for it, New Orleans. I'm not sure what to say about Atlanta. They're going to play tonight, Monday Night Football. Who knows? I mean, there's that wacky scenario you mentioned earlier. That's about the most interesting thing we could say about Atlanta this week. I'd rather talk about New Orleans. How many wins can we get? We got 6.
That's going to be it.
That's it.
Shuck is fun, but these are 2 bad teams. There's nothing to play for in this one, and I think that the Falcons will just play a little bit harder because they're going to be at home.
Now I'm going with the Saints. I think this could win him Rookie of the Year. I think 7 wins out of nowhere is enough of like, he's not far off 500, and a lot of things didn't go his way. And I guess I just want that story to happen. So I got New Orleans. Next game, Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. Sure. I mean, we're almost done with this, right? I got Cleveland. Who you got?
You're going Cleveland. Oh, I'm going with the Bengals. You got Joe Burrow still slinging it up to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase finally gets a touchdown after a long time. Still don't know how the Steelers couldn't just take care of business and beat the Browns. I mean, Shador Sanders is just tossing the ball up in the air. The rumors is that they were very much against Myles Garrett getting the sacks record against them, and that there was more focus on that than winning the game. But that was a gross game. But the Browns, they're not going to win again.
I think they are. I think the Cincinnati defense is that bad. I think this is exactly what Cleveland needs. And it might be high scoring, and then Burrow, I don't know. It's weird what's going on, all right? I don't know what to trust of all. It's just a roller coaster of emotions, and this might be the part where it dips down again. It's just what I'm saying. A little bit of pressure from Cleveland, get sacked a couple times. You know what? Pack it up anyways. I don't need to get hurt again. Let's get ready for next season. Although it certainly looks like he feels like when things are good for Burrow, it's like a senior year, like, superlative. Like it's just big energy and it's fun, but it's been fun. It was fun last week. I don't know if it'll be fun this week. You think it'll be fun again?
A little bit of fun. It's not going to be a bunch because you came into the year expecting to be in the playoffs, expecting to really be in the mix for a Super Bowl, and Burrow gets hurt and it is a mess and it's all over the place. But maybe some things that will go in that right direction. Did you see what Joe Burrow got his offensive line for Christmas presents?
I saw some of these. I can't remember. Is that the golf carts? Who got the golf carts?
No. Burrow went with dinosaur fossils.
What?
If I had gotten you, the podcast got real successful, would you be happy if I had gotten you dinosaur fossils as a Christmas present?
It's pretty cool. I have no idea what I would do with it. I'm really not a social hosting person over here, so who am I showing this off to? Which is, I assume, the only reason you have something like that, right?
It's for sure a conversation piece. Something that I think that we have to remember as regular people. You look at it and go, oh, well, this guy's making, X millions of dollars, but that doesn't mean that you like it's not like a percentage necessarily. Sometimes you think that way, but also sometimes like a good gift is not necessarily the thing that you really want, because all these guys are rich. If they wanted, golf carts or they wanted fossils, they just go to the store and they just buy it. You just take care of it. I have no idea where you actually buy fossils, but you just go. You get a guy, you got it. But this seems like it might be like the perfect like right in between of, hey, you know what's kind of cool? A dinosaur fossil, but I would never buy that for myself. So I'm wondering if is this the perfect gift?
I suppose if you are an already large athlete that's successful and has some money, you probably have some space for something like this as well. So this is lining up very, very nicely. Big house, you need a big piece, right? You need a big display. Got to fill up these walls somehow.
Now, I believe, I don't know all of this, if this is true, but I think he even let the guys decide what kind of fossil they wanted. So then they could pick their favorite dinosaur and get that fossil.
I can't, I say this now. I was like, anything would be cool. But then once you listed them off, I'm sure there's one that stood out. I can't think of what would, because they all sound cool. Like, what are you saying no to?
That's where it was something I had never really thought of. I think you're exactly right that it's a conversation piece that you have prominently placed in your house, and somebody comes in, and you're able to go, oh yeah, that's when I played for the Bengals, and Joe Burrow got us that for 1 year. Where I get it with some of the other more toys of, hey, here's these souped up golf carts, but it's like, well, wait, when are you using that? It looks cool in the moment. It's like, oh no, that's it. But then everyone goes their separate ways. Like, I don't think you're racing them at the complex, or maybe you are.
How do you get those home? Who's transferring these? I see they get them all in like the locker room, right? Like, where do they get delivered again after?
See, these are some very good logistical questions that I didn't think about.
Did you go home with the dinosaur fossil, or did you have that transferred? Like, is there a person that does this for you? Because what do you keep it in? There's got to be maintenance. Like, you need a guy probably for all that at some point, right? You got a fossil guy?
I don't think for maintenance. Only because it takes a really long time and fossils are super old. So if they needed a guy there all the time, they never would have lasted. I think it's more of a piece of art that is just, it's good to go.
All right, next game. Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. The struggle is real. Another sluggish and weak showing from the Green Bay Packers, I would say. However, it all kind of adds up. Like, shouldn't it make sense at this point? It's the Minnesota one's the one I just don't know. Is it just a defense that knows how to show up sometimes? I have no idea who their quarterback's going to be. I know a lot more about Green Bay, and yet Minnesota feels like they're going to win at home. Who you got this week?
The Vikings are out, right?
I think so. But that defense tells Flores to stop sacking people, and maybe they could lose a game. But I think they're going to win another game here because the Packers don't have a great line. I think this is just lining up to Flores' perfect defense.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are the Vikings are out, but Green Bay is in. But I don't think Green Bay can move up or not. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I don't know why. I
got them too.
I don't like what I'm seeing out of the Packers. I think that who was the quarterback?
I don't remember. I already forgot. It's not a name you should know.
Yeah, it was Willis. He's the backup coming in. They're trying to get Love healthy for the playoffs.
I knew that quarterback. I didn't know the Minnesota quarterback. I knew Malik Willis. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Malik Willis, and he's doing all right. But I think that's like the Packers have a good coach and have a good system. So I think there's a lot of people just chalking it up that he's going to be, a great starter next year. Where I just think if he goes somewhere with a good coach, yeah. But if he goes to the Jets, it's going to be a mess.
So if he goes to the Niners is always the example, right? Like, so, I'm sure it'd work. Mac Jones worked.
Yeah, exactly. Mac Jones. Yeah.
We both got Minnesota with very little reason. This is going well. Next one. This is going to be another one. Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. I'll take the Giants. Anything to talk about here?
This will be the second year that in a row that the Giants won a game out of nowhere, week 17, to lose the top pick in the draft. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. They don't have neither team has anything to play for, but I think the Cowboys are actually good. I think you saw the Giants and they were able to beat the Raiders, but I think the Raiders are with the Jets at the very bottom.
I think the Giants hate the Cowboys more than the Cowboys hate the Giants, and that's why the Giants are going to win.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Tennessee Titans.
I like it at home.
Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jesus, man, the rumors are true. They're on the attack. This is happening. Jacksonville's they're doing it. They're going to do it again this week. They're getting another win. This is going to be a 13-win team. What we talked about Patriot expectations. Where are we going with this? I feel like I just got to eat crow every week. Every time Lawrence looks good, or every time he comes clutch, and every time he gets knocked down and gets back up, I'm impressed. I'm going to be impressed this week, or is he going to be? Are they going to blow it? Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Jags. This is my bet of the week. I am going the spread 11.5 minus 112. I think that we have tried to not give the Jaguars the credit, and at this point they're going to get 13 wins, and I think this is going to be a little bit of an early playoff game for them, where they feel like they've been getting disrespected for a while. The Titans aren't very good. The Titans are not looking to win. They're looking to get that number one pick. So I think the Jaguars are going to come out and they are going to jump all over the Titans, and this is going to be a blowout.
Did we hit our bets last week? I hit Oh no, I did the defense one. I didn't hit that one. I hit the other one though.
You did Denver defense. I did Dallas, Washington under 50.5 and missed it by 2.5. So no, we did not win last week.
Wow. I wouldn't have brought that up if I knew. Next game, Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Let's just do a shout out to Philip Rivers, man. All right, he gave it a go. You know, you're not sure if it was the best decision or the best shot for the Colts, but, you know, when called upon, you know, who showed up? He showed up, right? Like, I just want to give him a shout out. Is that fair?
Had a Hail Mary attempt at the end. My question for you is, so you bring him in, you have him start 2 games. It's fine. It's not a disaster. I think some people thought it was going to be a disaster. It wasn't successful, but I don't know if there was another person you could have brought in, whether it was a normal aged or another guy that was retired. But why are you not playing him this next game? Why play him 2 and not just play him the third one?
I think he's done. I think they want to play the other guy, the young guy that is
Riley?
that is healthier now, that it's 2 weeks later. You know what I don't understand, and what's probably more likely is Philip Rivers' smart quarterback mind, right? He's staring across at who right now? The Houston Texans. You know what, kid? Why don't you go take the last one for us?
You go out there.
I think I'm a little past this. Is that also fair? I mean, has he not earned that right? It's not. He doesn't owe the Colts anything.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to be at 44 getting chased around by the Texans defense in a game that even if we win, you know, the season's over.
Yeah. This Houston team's real though. This is a spicy team with a defense and possibly an offense. I mean, when it's an offensive threat, it's certainly moving. But I'm more impressed with the consistency with the defense, and that's going to be not a problem for them this week. So I got Houston. I imagine you do as well.
Yes. Yep.
Next game, New York Jets.
Did you see the Texans safety Jalen Peter? Did you see his quote about the Texans defense?
No. Please tell me.
He said, God is the greatest. The Texans defense is maybe second. Do you like the confidence or does it concern you?
I already said what I said without knowing that and feel the same way. Has no, just doesn't change my mind. Although it is something to think about, but you don't ever want to be in the mind. Never meet your heroes. All right. Just let it be. The eye test of what I see without knowing that sounds a lot better. Oh man, that's that's bulletin board material.
I don't hate the quote, but I mean the Texans. That's just the team that plays on Saturday
exactly
in the playoffs, and they're done. And you know some of that is having to go against the Patriots. But I remember the year with Foster, and they came with Letterman jackets, and then we just just destroyed them. We just destroyed them, and just wondering is. You got to come up with confidence, but when you get a quote like that out there and then you start giving up touchdowns, it comes back to bite you in a hurry.
I mean, they're going to be able to say nobody was talking about us regardless, right? So it's whatever. They get to say that. They're not the Cowboys. They're the Houston Texans. Until otherwise, that's how it's going to be. But they're going to get a win this week. Next game, New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Yikes, man. This is, I mean, for the Jets, oof. Let's focus on the Bills because this is a battle to the end, of which I will ask you: is this a missed pass or is this a bad play call at the end for Josh Allen?
Oh, it's just a miss. He just missed it. We talked about it earlier. Probably makes it more often than he misses it. It was very cold, rainy, gross weather kind of day, but the guy was open. He just needed to put a little more air under it or put a little more on the money, but the guy was open, and I think it's just fun that at the same time, Drake May put up the best QBR ever recorded. So a lot of fun around the Patriot fans and just going, hey, Drake makes that pass.
I think Josh makes that pass too. I think this is still unusual that didn't work. I think that should have worked, and it's weird that it didn't. I don't know what else to blame though, other than saying he missed. Now, all that's being said, you're a betting man. Would you be willing to bet that they would have won in overtime fairly easily? Like, Philly was done, man. They were cooked. They did not want overtime. They wanted no part of this game going any longer. And in some part of me, I think they bailed them out.
I am pretty much every time in that situation of go for two. And you have Josh Allen. The Eagles defense was very good, but I still think you have Josh Allen. You go for two. You go for the win. You end it right there. The playoffs are coming up. They didn't need that win. There was still a chance that they could have won. Could have won the AFC East, but even there, it's just like you're not hanging a banner for that. So this wasn't a must win for them. I think it's more that the offense for most of the day was just not doing anything. And then you see the second half, and I messaged you and some other people saying the Eagles are going to blow this. Like I could just feel this. Like the Eagles, they're up, 13, but then they never really added to it. And then in the next half, Hurts doesn't complete a pass. How do you lose to a team when the quarterback can't even complete a pass?
Man, Philly's like food poisoning, man. It tastes great in the beginning of the first half, and then the second half, it just hits you. It's like, what happened? Everything was great a second ago. It's just the first half's awesome, second half's terrible. I don't know, the conditions weren't great. Certainly an excuse, but Buffalo dealt with it. I could be less impressed with Philly. They're just not. Buffalo lost this game, and I'm still more impressed with them.
I think some of it. So some of it too is when the Bills scored their first touchdown, the kicker missed the extra point, or it got blocked. So I think that has to be a factor in it.
Well, Buffalo's going to get the win this week, though, right? We're going to beat the Jets.
Yes, I'm going with the Bills, even though I don't think the Bills can really move around too much. But yeah, Jets are really bad. Jets are looking for that number one pick, and yes, I'm going to go with the Bills. That's my lock of the week.
We'll go with Buffalo as well. Next game, Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Ooh, spooky spoilers over here in Detroit, right? Nobody likes Chicago. You think they got it in them? I mean, that Chicago team, that looked like, I don't know, last year Detroit, other than maybe not winning.
Did.
But it really did, right? It was just fast. We're just striking quick. We're throwing long, just big strides.
You got weapons.
Whoo. I don't think Detroit's got a chance this week, though. But it would be fun if they played spoiler. Are you going to go with them on the road?
No, Lions got knocked out. Very disappointing year for them. I'm going to go with the Bears. They're at the 2 seed right now, but I think they can't get the after losing this week, they can't get the 1 seed. So I think that they don't really have much to play for. But I think that they're just going to want to be more ready for the playoffs. So I think they'll win, but this will be a good game.
All right, next game, Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Big game. Big game. There's going to be another win for one of these teams, and this is going to be another loss for one of these teams, of which we are going to judge both of them very hard either way. Are either of these teams actually good? Like, are you? This is going to change your mind on either of these teams, the outcome?
It's not going to change my mind. That's because the Chargers have already come out saying they're going to rest Herbert. Herbert's not playing. If the Broncos win, they're going to get the 1 seed, so they're going to take this seriously. It seems like the Chargers, they know they're at the 7 seed, so they're just kind of taking a bye week. So the Broncos are going to win, and it's just it is what it is. We're not going to learn anything. It's going to be all vanilla, and just get the win, get the 1 seed bye, and yeah, then we're going to go into the playoffs going, wait, really? Bo Nix in the Broncos, which I believe coming into this year, you were very high on them. So I think you should take a little victory lap.
I would. I'm more shocked that I feel like I've seen Los Angeles, the Chargers, moved up and down based on a lot of things, but I guess it's not really in their control, is it? It's just how everyone else finishes, right? Like the Chargers
they're at 7.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Okay. All right. That's where they're at.
They can't win the division. Yeah. Can't win the division. Can't get the 1 seed.
All right. Well, I guess I was mistaken because I thought this was going to be a big game because of how I saw them in the projections on like different places based on different outcomes. But I guess that doesn't matter because of this game. All right. That's a bummer. I got the Broncos then as well. That just seems like an easy take. Next one, Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. All right. Let's wrap this up. Like, what if the Chiefs just nail their draft pick and everything changes next year?
That I guess that's always a possibility. I saw that Andy Reid said he's expecting to come back. We'll have to hear, on the rest of the guys, but they didn't look very good. I know it's the Broncos, but it's the very end of the game, and you got guys jumping off sides on the hard count in a situation where it's like they're not hiking this ball. Yeah, just the Chiefs fans already know. Just disappointing end of the year. But I think that next year is going to be the gap year. So it might be that next year is the tanking year, and this is just the down year.
Well, I think they bailed out somebody last week, and they're going to bail out somebody again this week. The Raiders, I don't know what to do with them. They have a little bit of energy. I think they'll have a little bit more juice than the Chiefs. I'm just going to take them at home, despite they should really lose this game, right? Like they should have no part of this.
Yes, the Raiders are in the driver's seat, and
I think they're going to win, though.
I think you might have been able to go in and go, oh man, like they really packed it in against the Giants to make sure they got that number one pick. But I don't think that was the case. I've been watching Geno Smith all year, and I think that's just what it is. So the Chiefs at least still have an infrastructure where the Raiders are just so bad. So
I don't know.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
That mess that I saw out of the Raiders last week put up 10 points. The Chiefs put up 13. Like we're not far off, is what I'm saying. All right, that mess is not far off from this mess, and that this is going to be closer to a tankathon of who can miss a field goal at the end, who's got the balls that just miss the snap, or I don't know, run a terrible fake that just tanks everything. That's what's going to be the outcome here. But I think the Raiders are going to walk away with this, and then we're going to be like, how did they win this game? This is a complete disaster. The Chiefs are really that bad that they screwed up the Raiders draft pick. Like they're going to. Even when they lose, somebody's going to be mad at the Chiefs. A whole fan base is going to be pissed.
The only thing I can think of is if the Chiefs, like this doesn't impact them at all if they do what the Bills did to us last year, which is just like, oh, in division, and it doesn't impact us. Oh no, we can't quite figure it out, and yeah, we're going to bench our star MVP quarterback, and yeah, we're going to put somebody else in.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes out. All right, next game: Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. Nothing to say about the Cardinals. Can't wait to stop talking about them. We're really close. The Rams play tonight. Should we update a little thoughts on what we think is going to happen tonight? Because the Rams, there's a little bit more to talk about just than their outcome. There's a little MVP conversation that I think needs to be had, Zach.
You think it's Stafford?
Saying that's a candidate. I'm open to other candidates. Perhaps you have an option.
I've been watching a lot of Patriots games, attended one of the games, and I was hearing a lot of the people saying that Drake May was the MVP.
I think there's an argument to be made. I think Stafford's the better quarterback right now. I think he's had the better season. But man, I don't know, I'm not saying they're going to lose this game, but I feel like he needs to have like a 5-touchdown game against the Cardinals, like Drake had last week against the Jets. Like it shouldn't mean anything. Like I said, it shouldn't move the needle. But I think we need a big media coverage of like 5 touchdowns for Stafford, and we might get it this week. But again, is this another one where how much is their outcome changed by this win?
I don't think they're seeding. I think it has much more to do with you're going against the Cardinals, so dealing with that. But right now, Matthew Stafford is minus 250 to be the MVP. Drake at plus 200. I don't know what more Drake was supposed to do. He threw 2 interceptions. Or not interceptions, excuse me. Incompletions.
Wow. What are you selling here?
He threw 2 he threw 2 incompletions and threw 5 touchdowns. Like he just had a day. Like that's awesome. Stafford is not going to come anywhere near that.
I think you could argue Stafford has better receivers, maybe a better coach, maybe a better offensive coach.
We didn't have Booty or Collins this week.
Yeah,
Diggs played amazing, but we didn't have our full wide receiver lineup.
No, not at all. And Drake still looked good, right? He still made some passes.
Well, going against the Jets, and the Jets haven't intercepted anybody all year, so that makes it a little easier.
All right, so we both got the Rams this week. Are you ready to make an MVP choice? You're locked in? Sounds like you got your guy.
Yeah. It's Drake. Drake, of course.
Is there anything
2 seed versus the Rams looking at the 6 seed?
I think so, right? Like that's another argument here where I don't know if Stafford just teamed it enough. And I think it'd be shocking if we did it. Like I think Stafford's a better quarterback, but I don't know if he's that much better that we're going to give it to a 6 seed over a 2. Which it could also be a 1. Like, what if it's a 1? Is there even an argument then?
Oof. Oh, it'd be really nice to get the 1 seed. Like I said, seems like the Chargers are just throwing in the towel. It'd have to get like pretty crazy, and that's kind of the only way. And the Patriots still have to take care of the Dolphins, and we've definitely had a little house of horrors against the Dolphins to end seasons. So it's for sure not just it's not my lock of the week. That's for sure.
Yeah, I might have tricked you into this because I wanted to talk the MVP talk before we talked Miami versus New England, which is the next game, because this is a trap game. I'm not saying yours is the guy. I'm not saying anything about the quarterback or the offense. It's just this team won't die and has somehow survived and has just connected another win against a team that had no business winning against. The direction of this team just can't be trusted in Miami. And if we don't take them seriously, they will beat you. Like, I think we've seen enough out of them this year that if you don't take them seriously, this dog will still bite you, despite it being the Dolphins. That's pretty playful and pretty not scary. I'm a little scared of this trap game. Am I overestimating them or underestimating them? I mean, we might have the MVP on our team, and I'm still a little nervous.
I think it's a healthy skepticism, but time after time, we've just taken care of business against teams that were not as good as us. So I am going to just go with that. Go with the Pats. Say, we want to finish the year strong. Let's beat the Dolphins. They're going to be coming up to New England. I don't know specifically what the weather is going to be, but it is January in New England, so it's going to be cold. It is not going to be Tua. It'll be Ewers, but he's coming from Texas. I can't imagine he really wants to be playing in the cold. So I think we should be able to take care of business. Hopefully we can get healthy. Hopefully we're getting our linemen back, and just a nice tune-up game before the playoffs.
I got the Pats as well. Can't overthink it. We've beat all the bad teams. This is just another week where we should do that as well. And I mean, if we blow this, though, I do think that's going to hurt the Drake MVP thing, because the only way we're going to lose is if Drake doesn't play well. We're not a defensive team. We are an offensive team now. We go where Drake goes. Are we in agreement on that? Like, that seems we don't have another alternative way of winning. It's going to be on this guy, which is even more of an argument of why he should be the MVP. Next game, Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Somehow, some way, after winning, I don't know how Philly won this game. Like, it seems impossible. Like, I was walked away feeling like they lost still, and maybe that's why Philly fans are the way they are, because they won, and it didn't even feel good. How is it going to go this week? Because they got the Commanders. Boy, this would be like, they can't, right? Like, they just can't. No way.
They're locked in,
so they don't have
locked into the they like, similar to even last week. They're actually one of the ones that somehow did take care of business, even though it didn't look like it. I think they got to use this as a
tune-up,
playoff prep. Yeah, it seems weird to say a tune-up game. The game, 18th week, but you can't go a whole half and not complete a pass. Like, you can't. So I think that they're going to take care of the Commanders. All these games are division games, but I just think that they'll take care of the Commanders. Commanders are looking to just wrap this season up.
You telling me Hurts' next completion is going to be a playoff game? Like, we're going to go weeks?
No, he'll get a completion this week.
Well,
That'd be crazy if you didn't.
I thought you said they were going to. I thought you were
not get a completion.
I thought they were benching him.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, all right, but they don't need the game.
I haven't heard.
But they don't need the game, right? So, like, if this was a team that everybody felt better about, they would be benching their quarterback and their starters, right?
Maybe. Teams handle it differently.
That's true. That's true.
It's not nearly as much as as basketball, where it's like it would be like an auto. Yep, all these guys are going to be resting. Football's a little bit different.
Sometimes the routine just takes over everything. Just keep the routine. All right, next one: Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be fun, right? This one matters. All my research tells me that this is win or go home, right? Can I give you right about something today?
You are correct. This is win or go home. But you think this is going to be fun? This does not seem like fun at all. The Steelers couldn't even beat the Browns last week.
This is a dark alley fight. This is a Pittsburgh specialty. All right, this is football at its grittiest, and it's gonna be ugly, and I'm gonna hate every second of it. But I don't know who's gonna win, and that's the only reason I'm gonna watch. Do you know?
I am going to go with the Ravens. I can't trust the Steelers after what I saw last week. I don't even care. I don't even care if it's Lamar or Huntley. After basically not playing Derrick Henry in the fourth against the Patriots, they decide this week, hey, you know what probably is not fun to do is tackle this enormous athletic running back. And he had 4 touchdowns, 3 in the first half. Just ran all over him. And I'm hoping that this will just push them in the right direction of, hey, why don't we just use this awesome weapon that we have and do it that way? And I just don't see the Steelers being able to get their act together. All they needed to do was win last week. They were going to be set, and they couldn't get it done. And now they're in trouble.
Both of these teams are going to be stuck in the mud. This is going to be like a 6-6 game for the entire game, Zach. There's nobody's going to take any lead. I don't think they're capable of it. I think this has to be a tight game. And just because of that, I think Pittsburgh's going to win the closer game just because it's going to be a Tomlin thing. Although there is something funny to me about him just settling at 9-8 just perfectly if he blows this, and something about the Ravens sneaking and taking it at the last second, but him still being 9-8 and holding that as if that was worth anything in the offseason is
over 500. Just don't. There's only a handful of games that actually matter this week with playoffs and seeding. It's mostly set. There's only a few. This is technically one of them. Don't look forward to this game. Look forward to some of the earlier games, but don't hold on to this going, oh, well, we got Steelers-Ravens, 8 o'clock, standalone game. Look at the NBA schedule. Maybe there's some college basketball on. Have a movie planned, but don't make this just your main focus of your Sunday night, or you're going to be disappointed.
If you really want to know, to be honest with you, crush the under. It's we're not hitting it. Like, we're not going over. There's no way we're hitting the over. I think that's a safe one. I don't even know what it. I got under 41 minus 105. I think that's safe. I think Pittsburgh's going to be up in the first half. I think Pittsburgh 130 plus 135 to win the first half is fairly safe because I don't think we're going anywhere. I just feel like that when these two play, it's a stalemate, and I've seen what the Ravens look like when it's a stalemate. It hasn't been good this year, and maybe does Lamar suit up? Like, do we probably not, right? Maybe. Does it matter?
It's a maybe right now. For me, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters as much either. I think this is still going to be an ugly stalemate game that Pittsburgh's going to win and somehow get it. I don't like what Baltimore did most of the year. I don't think they took care of business either. I think they've put themselves in this situation just as much as Pittsburgh has. Tons of responsibility on both the teams. All right, let's recap. Bets for the week. What are you locking in?
My bet is the Jaguars minus 11.5.
I will do Carolina to win the first half plus 119. Jeez, that's
you got it.
Yeah, you tell me. This is the last week, right? I'm betting on Carolina. I should have bet on New Orleans. College football. It's been forever, but it's here. We've got big games. We got playoff games. The playoffs have arrived. Supposedly the good teams are playing this week, Zach. Is that true?
That is true. So we're going to have a game Wednesday, New Year's Eve. So this is going to be going head-to-head with Stranger Things, but we'll have Miami versus Ohio State. Ohio State very much in the driver's seat. That's going to be the Cotton Bowl. And then the good news is that Thursday, sure hope you have New Year's Day off, and it'll be a nice fun football day. Lots to look forward to. Noon, we have Oregon at Texas Tech. That should be a close one. We're going to have Alabama at Indiana, the number 1 seed. And then the 8 o'clock game, we will have Ole Miss at Georgia, a little SEC matchup.
All right, let's do picks real quick here. Miami, Ohio State. I got Ohio State. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Ohio State. They're going to blow them out.
I think so, too. It would be, boy, that would be fun, though. That would be the one. If I could stick it to anybody, yeah, that would be cool. Oregon.
I just think Ohio State is way better than Texas Tech was, and Miami could barely score on Texas Tech.
All right, well, that's good.
Excuse me, not Texas Tech. Texas A&M. Texas A&M.
I was going to say, that's going to be real important in this next one here, where it's Oregon versus Texas Tech. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Texas Tech.
I got Tech as well. You don't expect analysis on this for me. Alabama versus Indiana. I'm rolling Tide. Surprisingly,
I'm going to go with Indiana. Yeah, that's right. That basketball school. I'm going to have them beating Alabama, the football school.
It's a 1 seed versus a 9 seed in theory here. So if you took the names away, that should make a lot of sense. But I'm going with it always makes sense when Alabama wins, and that's what's going to happen.
You're not going to feel silly on Friday morning.
I'm not.
That you picked Alabama.
No, I don't think so either. I think underestimating Alabama is what they want, and maybe this is correctly to underestimate them. I'm not arguing that either. This is a very good Indiana team, but there's something about it. Alabama playoffs, man, and just being able to stick it to everyone else once again. It's another one where I think that's going to happen. All right, last one here. Ole Miss versus Georgia. This is another big one here. Who you got?
I will be going with Georgia.
Yeah,
Ole Miss doesn't have their coach. It'd be a fun story, but Georgia They're just like Alabama. They're big boys. So yeah, I'm going with Georgia.
All right, on to college basketball, where we actually get games, and they're probably already happening.
Finally,
Oh my God, there's like 300 games on right now, though. I don't like that. We can't spread this out. I got to go 2 weeks with nothing, and now there's 100 games on tonight.
I mean, I get it. It's it's Christmas time. They get to spend time with family. That's awesome. But we couldn't get just anything. It was 3 days of zero college basketball. To then on Saturday, a Saturday, just like a normal awesome Saturday. There's for sure going to be basketball on. No, they had one game. There was one game in 4 days. But I have good news for you. Holidays are wrapping up. We're about to have, big college football, but right behind that, we are going to be getting into conference play, and we got some good ones coming up this week. So on Friday, we got your team. We got Michigan State at Nebraska. Saturday, we have a nice afternoon lineup. So when you are looking for, you got the college football out of your system, you did your partying, now you're looking to get ready for next year. We have Virginia at NC State, 11 o'clock in the morning. Set your alarms.
Oh,
we have Kentucky at Alabama at noon, UNC at SMU at 2:15, Tennessee at Arkansas at 3, and then just like a little cherry on top, we're gonna have Creighton at Seton Hall on Sunday, just to kind of pair with maybe some not as exciting NFL football.
What kind of college crowd are you getting at 11 a.m.? Is this kegs and eggs here? This is early.
Not only is it early, it's also during the holiday break. So I don't think you're going to be having a lot of students there. So I don't know exactly who the crowd's going to be for NC State, but if there's a state that's going to show up for morning basketball, it's going to be North Carolina.
I hope it's a good one. I'm very excited to have it back. I'm excited to watch some more games tonight. Let's wrap up a little NBA talk here, because boy, did Christmas Day deliver. What more could you ask for, other than maybe a little explanation of why the setup is the setup of NFL games on one service and this on another, and no real way to switch back and forth between it conveniently at all. That apart, the NBA at least delivered. What was your fun takeaway from really this the past week has been on fire for the NBA. Anything stand out?
It was cool. Like you said, the games were a bunch of fun, where there was no other basketball, no college to, compete with it. But, you get the Knicks and Cavs kind of, it wasn't close the whole way, but was back and forth, followed up by the Spurs beat the Thunder again, where it just seems like we might be setting something up here for, all right, OKC is good against everybody except for the Spurs. And there's a little bit of bad blood that's starting there. So yeah, like that. Warriors take care of the Mavericks. I think Cooper Flagg's going to be on playing Christmas Day games for a long time. Always good to see the Lakers lose, so that was fun. And then, unfortunately, it was way too late. But yeah, Nuggets Timberwolves goes to overtime, so I was able to catch the highlights of that later. For the whole day, I think it worked out where the football games going in, it just did not line up for the NFL. Unfortunately, I'm sure they'll pull a move next year and make sure there's no injuries or something, and make sure that they're back on top. But the NBA was definitely the one on top. I know they probably didn't do this on purpose, but the way the games were spaced out and basketball games being shorter than football games, it actually worked out really well of kind of being able to catch the second half of each one, just kind of flipping back and forth. But yeah, you brought it up. I even timed it. It took over a minute to go from Netflix to get back into YouTube TV to get to ESPN, and I know what I'm doing. So it's frustrating that they still haven't come up with a better system to switch back and forth, where if it's a minute, you got to jump on it right away. It's like you can't necessarily, you can do it in between commercials, but it ends up being more of a fight than it's worth. So I was just making it simpler of just watch a half, switch over to the next game.
It's fine. I guess you got to make a decision. I guess we have options. We wanted options. We got options. The options are convenient if you want all of the options is the problem now. It's like, are we just the only ones doing this? Do other people not have this problem?
They must.
Right? This can't be anyway. The bars. What are the bars doing? Could you imagine being the bartender where it's already, hey, I don't know the channel. I don't know which remote goes to which TV. I don't know the numbers. They're always in like the thousands, and I don't know what your game is. I don't know if I'm looking for football or basketball. I know you gave me team name. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's not even a channel you have. It's on a service. Like,
yeah, if you're like a legit sports bar, sports fan, like you're gonna know this ahead of time. And I mean, for sure, this is Christmas, so this is a little bit weird. But yeah, the look on some poor bartender's face when you ask her, "Hey, can you put this football game on?" She goes, "Yeah, sure. What channel?" And you go, "Netflix." It's just, yeah. We're still trying to get this worked out.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Speaking of work in progress, do we like NBA fights? Do we like NBA fights from little guys and big guys? Is that the best kind of fight?
Whoa, yeah. Mark Williams, big Mark, and Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado threw a real punch. Yeah, he's suspended a couple of games.
I would have gave him a little bit more because he really went for it. It was normally everybody's too little scared. It's a lot of pushing, and you might swing, but you miss. I feel like he intentionally swung, which maybe everyone always does, and they just don't do it as well. And this is a different Jose. I didn't think he could do it. Like, Mark in my mind is so much taller than him. How did he do that?
I don't know. I saw the highlights of it and was surprised and agree with you that I was kind of surprised that Alvarado only got 2 games. I would have thought you connect on like a legitimate punch, and it wasn't he threw a punch, and really if you watch it, it's like, well, he kind of flailed. It's like, oh no, that was a real punch, connected. I thought he'd be suspended a little longer.
I thought it was pretty petty too. I'm sure there's more to it, but a little tap in the back. I don't know. There's got to be more to it, right? There has to be. Jose's got to have a little bit more for justifying than a little shove in the back. Other NBA news: Celtics, tough one. Trap game on the road. Portland didn't even get to see our old friends. Our old friends are still not playing basketball, even for other teams, and we still lost.
Portland just they're just a weird team where they don't have a lot of wins, but their wins are against the good teams, and then they can't beat the bad teams. So, yeah, just frustrating. Was on a little bit of a win streak, and then you see, oh, cool, we got, it's in Portland, but you have them on your schedule. We're pretty healthy. It just, that's what happens when you're not, a great team. You're just like a pretty good team. You get caught in these games where should have been able to just, hit the gas, go up by 10, and it was close. And then 4 turnovers in the final minute and 10 seconds just did not execute, and just gross.
It was terrible. It was the worst way to lose. I would have rather just not been in the game than to kind of lose that way, because it felt like we were going to win that game for a good chunk of it, and then we just didn't. It's like, oh, man, we just let it go. And we've done this before, and I look at our team, and it makes sense that we're going to have games like that because we don't have Tatum out there, and we have no centers, which is how we lost the game again. We have, who was boxing out Clinging? Was it Hugo or somebody that shouldn't be, or is only because of the situation we've put ourselves in? It's hard, but man, we
couldn't box him out, and then just tried to follow him immediately. It was an and one, and that was the nail in the coffin.
Wasn't great. All right, let's get out of here. Did you have a good holiday?
I had a great holiday. Yeah, got to see the family. You got to go skiing. I have this whole week off of work, so just kind of hanging out, and I'll be watching more basketball. And yeah, really excited for college basketball to be back in the mix.
Yeah, we'll have a lot more takes on that. I already got KenPom open here. There's a lot of movement here. We got lines and bars starting to narrow down a little bit more. Anything stand out on KenPom?
Michigan, after their big wins, non-conference schedule was a tough one. I think that they are they're cut above everybody else right now.
Oof. Well, I would love to, have a little piece of that and see how we size up against it. That's coming soon, and that's going to be a huge game. I'd love to see Michigan State versus Michigan. I hope Michigan just doesn't blow it until they get to us. Do you think they'll make it?
I'm pulling up the schedule real quick. It's a while. It's a while before they play you.
It is a while. It's a month, right? It's almost like a literally
Friday,
month.
January 30th.
Yeah, it's 29th today.
Yep, yeah, so a month.
I don't think they'll make it. I think we'll be looking at a different KenPom ranking by then. But that's all I'll say about Michigan. They're good for right now. Hopefully they'll still be good when we play them.
It looks like they're favored in every game until then.
I bet we are. I bet Duke is. I bet Kentucky. Like, I bet all of us are. Like, am I wrong about that? Is there a game you're not favored in?
Let me check real quick, but I believe we're going to be underdogs against Louisville.
Ooh.
No. Oh, we're at Louisville the Tuesday, January 6th. So a little over a week away, but looks like we're going to be favored by 1 or 2 points.
All right. That's fun. We'll see if that lives up to be true. Remind everyone to subscribe. Little column A, little column B. Remember to subscribe and follow Zach on his X account, which is
Wicked Z-Man 24.
Yeah, we got some more content coming on that. I don't really want to do the social media, but there's some merch coming. I think the new year. I don't know. It'll be soon. Maybe March? What do you think, Zach? Should we do it sooner?
I like March.
March? All right, we'll build up for March. We'll have some March Madness stuff then. Until then, we'll be back next Monday. Thank you as always for listening.
Little column A, little column B.